Hi everyone, thank you for clicking this video. I am Olalekan Michael Kuye, OM Kuye. As we all know, the purpose of this channel is to educate ourselves on our laws, whether you are a lawyer, a law student, or a layman. Today, the topic I have for you is void marriage. Before we go on to explain what void marriage means, please, I would like you to subscribe to this channel if you have not subscribed yet. Like the videos, share it and turn on your notification bell. Thank you very, very much. Okay, void marriage. Firstly, let us define what marriage is. Marriage is a union between a man and a woman, just as it was defined in Hyde and Hyde. Hyde and Hyde is the locus classicus for marriage. A union between husband and wife to the exclusion of others. In Africa here, we'll say, okay, when somebody marries my daughter, the person has married me too. So if somebody marries my son, the person has married me also. It is not supposed to be so. Under our law, the definition of marriage is the union between husband and wife, and it was expressly defined that it is to the exclusion of others. So if you don't know that, please know now. Now, what are we talking about? We are talking about void marriage. When we say something is void, it means that thing never existed. It means it is not valid. There are some factors that can make a marriage void. You need to know these three factors and take keen cognizance of them so that you don't fall victim of a void marriage. Now, the first vitiating element or factor that can render a marriage void ab initio is consent. Consent. Now, what does consent connote? Can two work together except they agree? It is not possible. So you are not allowed under our law to lure people or to put people under duress or threats for them to marry you. You are not allowed to misrepresent yourself. Just come plain, come clean. Let the person understand that this is who you are. Don't let the person get married to you because the person understands that you are what you are not. You cannot represent yourself as A, and then at the end of the day, the person discovered that you were B when you got married to them. It means you have contracted marriage on the basis of misrepresentation. You have robbed the other party of making their own choice before they got married to you. And if this person is able to prove the element of misrepresentation in the court of law, the court will declare that marriage void. Therefore, under the Act, the free will and consent of parties are required. The sister must not be thinking she has come to play Pakulupa, don't ask me what that means. While the brother also should not be thinking, okay, I have come to just do one or two things, something different entirely from marriage. The consent of the two parties are required. You are not even allowed to coerce people into getting married to you, or you are not allowed to coerce your partner into getting married. See, you are not allowed to misrepresent yourself. You are not allowed to coerce your partner. You are not allowed to lure them or put them under duress for them to get married to you. If that your partner institutes an action for dissolution in the court on the ground that there was a misrepresentation, they were under duress when they got married to you, you coerced them or you lured them into the marriage and it was not their own free will. It is actually a vitiating element which can render the marriage void. And of course, the marriage was void ab initio if that actually happened at the point of contracting the marriage. Another vitiating factor that will render your marriage non-existent in the sight of the law is the existence of a customary marriage or the marriage contracted under the law. If you had contracted a customary marriage or you contracted a marriage under the law already, you cannot get married to another person under the law. By virtue of the Matrimonial Cause Act 1970, no marriage shall be valid. Let me read it out. No marriage in Nigeria shall be valid where either of the parties thereto at the time of the celebration of such marriage is married by native law and custom to any person other than the person with whom such marriage is had. This place is very, very clear. What this place is telling you is that before you contract marriage under the English law and you want it to be valid, you must not have had customary marriage with any other person before. That is one. Or English marriage or the same marriage under the law with another person. However, the Act allows you to contract marriage under the Act even though you had contracted the marriage with that same person under customary law. So you are only allowed to marry just one person. The law frowns at you being married to one person under the customary law, now coming to get married to another person under the English law, or getting married to one person under the English law and coming to get married to another person under the English law. So the moment you do that, your marriage will be rendered void. And one nature of a void marriage is that you do not even need to go to the court to dissolve such marriage because it never existed in the sight of the law. So the moment a party discovers it, they may not need to approach the court for dissolution of marriage because you can only dissolve what has been validly contracted or established. Another factor that can render your marriage void is where there is no license. What do I mean by license? You know, normally in Nigeria, whenever you want to get married, you have to go to the registry and sign the necessary papers. So it is either that you have contracted that marriage by approaching the registry and signing all necessary documents, or a licensed place of worship. When you do all this, the ones you call church marriage, be very sure that that church is licensed, and be very sure that it is the pastor of that church that was licensed to issue the marriage certificate that will be given to you at that church. Be very sure that it is that pastor that actually joined you and your partner. If not, sorry, probably you have just gone to do revival in the church, or you have just gone to do some marital party in the church. It will not be valid. The only thing that makes it valid is the license, a licensed place of worship. A licensed place of worship. So that place must have been licensed for the celebration of marriage. Unless it is licensed, any marriage contracted in that church is not valid under the law. It is only for ceremonial purpose, not to make it valid under our law. So, if you did not go to the registry to contract your marriage, and the church where you contracted your marriage, for example, is not licensed, sorry, you have not contracted any marriage under the law. So that is another vitiating factor that will render your marriage void. So far we have discussed void marriage as a result of the absence of consent of parties. We have also made mention of the existence of a customary marriage or a marriage under the law. Also, we have made mention of license at the place where the marriage was contracted. So that is all I have for you in this video. Stay tuned, subscribe, like, share the video, let others also benefit from it, and turn on the notification bell so that you can be notified whenever we drop subsequent videos. Thank you very much. Catch you later.